Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Today I will deliver a lesson for class 11 subject zoology. My today's topic is related with human respiratory system. And today we will discuss about the exchange of gases. Gas exchange is a physical process by which gases move passively by diffusion across a respiratory surface. Now, as we know that different animals use different types of respiratory surfaces for gases exchange, but all types of respiratory surfaces have some common basic characteristics. For example, number one, a respiratory surface must be very thin, and secondly, it must be highly vascular, that it must be richly supplied with blood, and thirdly, it should be moist. And in case of humans, alveoli of the lungs are the sites of gases exchange. So first of all, we will discuss about the exchange of gases in alveoli. As you can see in this sketch, this is an alveoli and this is a blood vessel attached to the alveoli. Now actually oxygen and carbon dioxide exchange takes place in alveoli, between alveoli and the blood vessels by a process called the diffusion. It is based upon the pressure of these gases, or we may call the concentration gradient of these gases in two sides. And diffusion membrane is actually made of three major layers. First layer is this squamous epithelium of the alveoli. Second layer is the endothelium of alveoli, endothelium of the blood vessel. Walls of the blood vessel is known as endothelium. And the third layer is between these two, that is called the basement membrane, which lies between the squamous epithelium of the alveoli and the endothelium of the blood vessel. And the total thickness of this membrane or this respiratory surface is about 0.2 millimeters. Now, the exchange of gases in tissues. In metabolically active tissues, the partial pressure of oxygen, which is designated as PO2, is normally 40 millimeter of mercury, and the partial pressure of arterial blood brought to these tissues is normally 45 millimeters of mercury. So, oxygen diffuses from blood into the tissues. Now, in the tissues, the partial pressure of carbon dioxide, designated as PCO2, is normally equal to 45 millimeters of mercury, which is obviously higher than that of the blood, that is 40 millimeters of mercury. So carbon dioxide diffuses from the tissues into the blood. Now the next aspect is the transport of oxygen in the blood. About 97% of oxygen is transported by erythrocytes or RBCs in the form called as oxyhemoglobin, and about 3% of the oxygen remains dissolved in dissolved form in plasma. And you must remember this thing, that every 100 ml of blood, that is every deciliter of blood, can transport about 5 milliliters of oxygen to the tissues under normal physiological conditions. Lastly, the transport of carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is transported in three forms in the blood. First form is that in the dissolved form. In the dissolved form, it is transported. It is about 5 to 7% of the carbon dioxide is transported in dissolved form. Second is as bicarbonates. and about 70% of the carbon dioxide is transported in the form of bicarbonates, and the remaining 23% of carbon dioxide is transported as carbaminohemoglobin. Now, this is all about the gaseous exchange in humans. Thank you.